All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome again to Meaningful Monday. So, Meaningful Monday is the first Monday of every month, and tonight's lesson is called Believe in Yourself. So, all the Meaningful Mondays are on the Silva Method YouTube channel, as you can see on the bottom of the slide there. If you want to listen to any older ones, all kinds of topics. We talk about everything from self-sabotage to loving yourself, to how to live your dreams, to creating wealth, all kinds of things. So tonight's topic is really important, believe in yourself, and I'll tell you why I say that. I'm going to show you some statistics tonight on people's level of self-confidence, and it's absolutely astounding how many people suffer from lack of self-confidence. And I have to say that lack of self-confidence is very, very crippling. It's very, very immobilizing, because confidence is the one thing that is absolutely required for us to be successful. So I'll tell you this. When they hire soccer players, they divide them up according to these three criteria. The first criteria is how much ball skill they have. So soccer players, how they can dribble the ball and kick it and whatever. Ball skills is the one, and they can measure that by watching them. The other skill is the experience. So how many games they've played, how many championships they've won, overall, what their success has been through the actual playing of the game. And the third thing they measure them on, which is like a psychological test, is on their self-confidence, on their belief in themselves, on their personal attitude about their own abilities. And I'm sure, because I'm framing this up, leading the witness, in other words, which one do you think they choose the soccer players on? Well, you're guessing I'm going to go there, and you're right. They actually select them on their level of self-confidence, how much they believe in themselves. And the reason they do that is, they say if a soccer player has got all the ball skill in the world, but he doesn't believe in himself, he can never play to his maximum potential. He can never really achieve what he needs to achieve, because he's always got doubt. He's always unsure, and these negative thoughts affect his performance. So can you understand how much the thoughts about yourself affect your performance? So when he's relaxed and in a safe place, his ball skills are tops. But maybe in a game, under pressure, when the heat is really on, if he doesn't have enough self-confidence and he doubts himself or worries about his performance, he's not going to do very well in a game, so they don't select him. The same goes for experience, how much experience they've had and how many games they've played. If they have got low self-confidence or not as high as it could be, they can't really achieve any more than their level of self-confidence. And by the flip side of this, when soccer players have not got all the skill in the world or all the experience in the world, but they've got a high degree of belief and confidence in themselves, they say they can achieve and overachieve anything. They can honestly overachieve. Through training and practice, they just get better and better. And they play well because they don't have negative thoughts. They believe in themselves. They've got a lot of positive thoughts, and they take more risks from a long shot, kicking a ball across the field, or running right into shoot a goal shot without thinking too much. They just have that level of confidence. Their performance overall is much better. So this that I'm sharing is really such an important lesson for everybody. Everybody. It doesn't matter what walk of life you are, what job you have, whether you're working, retired, if you're at school, doesn't matter. It affects us all. And believing in ourselves, the good news is that you can change it. So if you are listening to this and you maybe need a bit more self-confidence or belief in yourself, I'm going to show you how you can actually improve it and cultivate it to help you, get better and better through time. And no matter who you are and where you are at in your life, I would recommend you practice this anyway, because even confident people, even Tony Robbins, if you listen to him on some of his talks, he works on himself every single day. Brendan Bouchard, I'm a big follower of Brendan. He works on himself every single day. It doesn't matter what position you are in life or what status or achievements you've already accomplished. Our minds are very tricky in the sense that they have somehow habitual patterns and very often are negative. So the truth is, we have about 70,000 thoughts a day, and about 80% of them are negative. And these are affecting our performance, our self-confidence, and our belief in our own abilities. So I'm going to give you some tips tonight at the end of it. I'll give you 10 steps, and I'll just frame it up right from the start to say this. What I'm going to share tonight has a couple of quotes out of the Bible. So if you're a person of faith, I'm a person of faith, great, you're on the same page. And if you're not a person of the same faith as me, I'm hoping that you have a faith in some power greater than yourself. It doesn't have to be the name I give it, whether you have source energy, infinite intelligence, or you call it Krishna or Allah or God or whatever it may be. I am going to talk about a power greater than us, because it is truly when we have faith in this power is how we actually draw down this power into ourselves and into our own minds to give us the faith in ourselves that we might not have on our own. And there really, really is a massive connection between the faith in ourselves and the faith in a higher power. The faith in yourself, I have to say, can come from the faith in a higher power. It can be developed from that connection. It can change and evolve over time. The more your awareness is on trusting a power greater than yourself. So if you're a person of faith, great. If you're not a person of faith, I encourage you just to have an open mind, listen to this either way, and I hope that it serves you. So it's coming from an honest and good place to help you any possible way that I can. All right. So let me just move that out the way. This says, believe in yourself, have faith in your abilities. So without a humble but reasonable confidence in our own powers, you cannot be successful or happy. So Norman Vincent Peale, he's the author of a fantastic book called The Power of Positive Thinking. I'll just flash it up here for you. And I'm going to share with you something out one of the chapters in this book tonight, because I, as a Silva Method trainer, and many of you here are Silva Method graduates, even though I've got all of that about the mind and developing the mind, when I read this book, what really impressed me is how Norman Vincent Peale really draws on that faith in a higher power, or what I would call God, and how it phenomenally changed not only his life, but everybody's life that he touched in the most profound ways. So that's why I'm going to share that with you tonight. And this quote there comes from him. So it says, you've got to have a humble but reasonable. Why it says humble is, you can't be too overconfident, because then you become arrogant. And the problem with arrogance is that arrogant people don't learn. Arrogant people don't learn because they don't think they have to learn. They think they know it all. When you're humble, you've got a teachable spirit. So you've got a teachable spirit. It means you're continuously learning and you're continuously wanting to grow and get better and better. And that's the way it should be. Humble, but reasonable. We do need to have a reasonable level of confidence. We need to love ourselves in a healthy way. We need to have a good level of self-confidence in a healthy way. It's just about the right self-awareness, not about being arrogant, not about being too humble, because let me tell you, too much humility is no good. Too much humility is actually, I've heard this from my mentor. He said, too much humility is actually a rejection of the wonderful creation you are. Like, you're a God-created human being, wonderful, with, literally a walking miracle of creation. And if you're too humble, you dismiss that and you don't have the gratitude and the appreciation for that. So you've got to have a healthy, humble yet reasonable confidence in your own powers. Otherwise, you can't be successful. This we know, we've spoken about that. Or happy. I find it interesting that he puts happy there, and it's so true. And I'll tell you why happy is there, is because when we're good at something, we're happy. We enjoy it. If we're doing well in life, we enjoy life more. So success is very much linked to happiness. People who are not doing well or unsuccessful or feel like failures, they struggle with happiness. And this life is meant to be fun for you. This life is meant to be enjoyable. It's not supposed to be a struggle and a strife and a worry. So we need to change our mind about all these things. We need to change our mind about the fact that life is meant to be fun. We are meant to be happy and enjoy it. Really, one of the goals of life is to be happy. And happiness comes from within. Happiness doesn't come from the circumstances around you. You'll find people in the world in the most severe and dire circumstances who are happy. And you get people with everything in the world, and they've got not millions, but billions of dollars. You think, oh, they can buy anything they want. They are unhappy. Happiness does not come from outside. It comes from inside. So confidence and happiness are both inside jobs, and they really are linked together, and really important to look at them as cousins. So if we're more happy, we have more confidence. In more confidence, we have more happiness. So I'm going to help you get onto that page tonight. Okay, so I'm here to tell you that you can develop faith in yourself. So it's all about really having a change in your mental attitude. And when you have a change in your mental attitude, like this lesson tonight, will help you believe in yourself and really release a power inside you that you have. And this power is your infinite potential. So we all have unlimited, infinite potential. Abraham Maslow proved this many years ago. So we need to cultivate and draw out and unlock more of that potential. And we can only do that if we really believe in ourselves, because we could have all the potential in the world, but if you don't believe in your abilities, you're never going to use it. You're never going to develop it. So if you look at this man over there, sitting there, it says he's feeling hopeless, inferior, worthless, all those negative words about himself. He feels useless. He feels unwanted, unimportant, insignificant, unlovable, weak, whatever negative words you can imagine. There is a way for you to move from that to feeling that I am successful, I am courageous, I am a person who believes in myself, I am self-confident, I am a person worthy and deserving of everything that I want to achieve. And as I said, if you know the number of people in life who are hampered by inferiority complexes, it's absolutely sad. It's very, very appalling. It's quite staggering, the statistics on it. Now, the point I want to make is you don't need to suffer from lack of self-worth. You don't need to suffer from lack of self-confidence. It can absolutely be overcome, because the word there is you can develop it. You can develop it the same way as a person who doesn't run starts to run every day a little bit, and they try to get to 5 kilometers, and after a couple of weeks, they can then run 5 kilometers. How did they get there? They developed it. They practiced something every day. I'm going to give you some things that you can practice every day. And if you do practice them, I guarantee you, you will change your own faith in yourself. I just want to share this quick story with you. And I might just refer to this book and partially read it, but this was really a great story. Norman Vincent Peale, who is a phenomenal public speaker, well, when he was younger, he's like over 90, well, I don't even know if he's still around today, I'm not sure. But he said he was at a talking event, and a man came up to him with this really very serious look on his face, and he said to him, may I please talk to you, as a matter of desperate importance to me. So he said to him, look, I'm just stay backstage and take a seat, and as soon as I'm finished with this event and all the people, I'll come and speak to you. So when he spoke to him, the guy said to him, and he had this like terrified look in his eyes, says, I'm in town to handle the most important business deal of my life. If I succeed, it means everything to me. If I fail, I'm done for. Then Norman Vincent Peale suggested to him that he just relax a little bit. He said, nothing's quite that final. If you succeed, it will be fine. And he said, you know what? If you don't succeed, well, tomorrow is another day, which is really true. So look at that difference in attitude between the one man saying he's done for, and the other one said, well, tomorrow is another day. Then the man said to him this. He said, I have a terrible disbelief in myself. I have no confidence. I just don't believe I can pull this thing off. I can do this deal. I'm very discouraged and I'm very depressed. He said, in fact, I'm just about sunk. Here I am, 40 years old, and why is it that all my life I've been tormented by inferiority feelings, by lack of confidence, by self-doubt? He said, when I listened to your speech tonight, in which you talked about the power of positive thinking, he said, I wanted to ask, how can I get some faith in myself? So Norman Vincent Peale then proceeded to tell him that he's actually got 2 steps to take, which I recommend for you as well. The one step is you really need to some degree, find out the source of where these inferiority feelings come from, if you suffer from them or if you're aware of them. And then that will help you, because having the awareness of the origin or the source is already part way towards the cure. Now, if you're a Silva method graduate, I would say that we have a technique, which is the laboratory and counselors, is that we've spoken about it even in class, but if you're not sure, just message me privately and I'll share it with you in more detail, but it's in your manual. In your laboratory, you can go in there and you can get to the root cause of anything that's troubling you in your life, even self-confidence, something like that, and you can overwrite it and change it. So that's for the Silva grads. If you're not a Silva grad, it is important somehow, some way that you find the origin of these feelings and try to overwrite them. You can do it through visualization, or you can do it to come to a point of self-acceptance and say you draw a line in the sand and you're going to do everything you can to change your conditioning. Because yes, you may not be responsible for the creation of that conditioning. It might have come from when you were really small, but you are responsible for changing your conditioning. And yes, you can. That's why this Meaningful Monday is a lesson. You can change your conditioning. So that's the first thing he told the guy. The second thing he said, right, he said, I'm going to give you a formula which will work if you use it. As you walk down the street tonight, I suggest that you repeat certain words that I'm going to give you. Say them over several times after you get into bed tonight as well. When you wake up tomorrow morning, repeat them again at least 3 times before you get out of bed. On the way to your important appointment tomorrow, say them 3 additional times. And do this with an attitude of faith. And he said, you will receive sufficient strength and ability to deal with this problem. And he said, later, if you wish, you can go into the analysis of where you got this original, like bad inferiority feelings about yourself. So he said, this is the affirmation that he gave him. And it actually is a quote out of the Bible. The words are this: I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And that comes from Philippians 4, verse 13. Now, this man you are speaking to had never even read the Bible. This man wasn't even very much of a Christian. This is why I'm sharing this with you. It doesn't matter who you are and what your faith is. He's telling the story about a man. He never heard these words before. He never knew that they were in the Bible, didn't ever read the Bible, and he never had much faith. But he took this that he said, and he just said he'll adapt it, because even though he didn't have a particular faith or religion, he knew he knew who Jesus was, and he knew about the amazing story of Jesus, and he knew that if he just said this, there was some truth in it. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So the guy went away and did this, and then apparently, as he was leaving, he called Norman Vincent Peale a doctor. He said he gave it to him like a prescription, even though he's not a doctor. He said, okay, doctor, okay. And then I love these words. I want to share them with you. He says, I watched him square his shoulders and walk out into the night. He seemed a pathetic figure, and yet the way he carried himself as he disappeared showed that faith was already working in his mind. And subsequently, he reported that this formula, this simple formula, did wonders for him. And he also added, the guy said to him the next day after he did really well in this meeting he had to go to, he says, it seems incredible that a few words from the Bible can do so much for a person. And his life got better and better as he used this one phrase only. And he came back and told him again, he says, the man never ceases to express amazement at the way in which things now flow towards rather than away from him. His personality has taken on a positive, not negative, character, that he no longer repels success, but on the contrary, he draws success to him. He now has an authentic confidence in his own powers. Now, he has an authentic confidence in his own powers, but remember, when he started, he drew on the powers of something greater than himself, in this case, with that quote about Christ. So I wanted to share that just to demonstrate, and in this book, there are hundreds of stories like that. And I'm just sharing this because many of these people had no faith or religion or anything, but just saying a quote like that can change the way you feel. And I urge you to try the same thing. Try, maybe not on this webinar right now, but maybe when you get off it or before you go to sleep or when you wake up in the morning, or if you have a thought about something that scares you where you don't feel confident, try saying that 10 times with a lot of feeling and a lot of faith. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And you repeat that 10 times, I guarantee you get a feeling of strength that kind of flows through you that you never had before. And the more you do this, the more you're reconditioning yourself. And if you use it continuously, it will change you. And you know what? It's always something you can depend on, because it's not as if you have to depend on your own power and your own confidence. You're drawing from a power that you trust, a power that you know is consistent and always strong and always stronger than you. So it also says in the Bible, according to your faith, be it unto you. According to your faith. So if you've got a lot of faith, you've got a lot of chance of this thing happening. If you've got no faith, you've got no chance of something happening. All miracles originate in faith. There's not a single miracle people say, oh, it just happened. I don't know how it happened. It just kind of, just happened. No, whenever you have a miracle, the reason it's called a miracle is because it's almost like the impossible made possible, and there's always a story there of someone with extraordinary faith. Okay. So you can learn to have faith. It's like any skill. The ability to possess and utilize faith and gain the release of power it provides are skills. And like any skill, they must be studied, they must be practiced, and if you do that over time, you gain mastery. Now, mastery over what? Well, mastery over your own thoughts about yourself. Mastery about your feelings about yourself. Mastery about your beliefs about yourself. You see, we can change our beliefs, and confidence is nothing more or less than a belief. Your level of self-confidence is really and truly not a true measure of your potential. Your potential is infinite. It's way up there in the sky. Your level of self-confidence is somewhere down here near earth. So there's a massive gap always. We can just keep getting better and better through our life, but we do need a level of confidence and faith in ourselves to move higher and higher and develop more of our potential. So the one thing that we can do to learn to have faith is definitely to have repetitive suggestion. Keep repeating to ourselves positive thoughts. Keep saying anything that's like a positive affirmation, or the one I just gave you earlier, repeating it over and over in the morning, at night, before you go to bed, whenever you're feeling afraid or have any self-doubt, because it's through repetition that we slowly change our thoughts, and our thoughts are all habits. Okay. So to develop confidence, practice suggesting confident concepts to your mind. I'll say it again. To develop self-confidence, practice. It's a practice. It's like a spiritual practice. It's like going to gym. You have to practice suggesting confident concepts to your mind. The way you think is a habit. So just the way it's a habit right now, if you don't have a lot of confidence, you can have more confidence by creating a new habit of continuously suggesting confident thoughts to your mind. There's a picture here of this man sitting helpless in the chair with all his shoulders down and feeling hopeless. But you can see it's because he repeats thoughts of insecurity and inadequacy. He repeats these thoughts round and round in his brain. Every time he thinks about something he has to do or something he's worried about, he just lets these thoughts continue. What I'm saying, stop. Become aware of your thoughts. And if they are insecure or inadequate thoughts about you, you have to stop them. So all of you know the cancel technique. Use cancel. And keep impressing confident concepts in your mind. Otherwise, how are you ever going to change? We have to change the way we think to change the way we feel. We have to change the way we think and feel to change our attitude. We have to change the way we think, feel, and our attitude to change our beliefs. And those are our beliefs in ourselves. So it says here, in the busy activities of daily existence, thought disciplining is required. That's what it takes. That's all it takes. The work you have to do is be disciplined with your thoughts. So it is required if you are to re-educate the mind and make it a power-producing plant. Your mind has got more power than you can ever begin to imagine. Infinite potential. The power to do anything, the power to heal your body of any condition, the power to heal relationships, the power to create wealth, the power to be successful, the power to do anything that you want to achieve, to go from being an employee to running your own business and being successful. Any dream that you have comes from your mind. So it's essential that we do have discipline and are aware of our thoughts, because we have to keep on re-educating the mind. It says here, it is ever possible in the midst of your daily work to drive confident thoughts into your subconscious mind through conscious effort and willpower. So that's what we need to do, is keep driving confident thoughts. Now I wrote there through effort and willpower. Great, that's one way you can do it. It says the Silva method there below, because in the Silva method, we have the cancel technique, which is about awareness, and yes, using conscious effort and willpower. So basically, if you have a negative statement about yourself, like you think, oh, I can't do that, you go cancel, and you overwrite it with a positive statement. Somehow, some way, I can learn to do that. Now that's one way. Where it says the Silva method there below, there's another way in the Silva method, which we train, which is through visualization using the mirror of the mind technique. So if you're not a Silva grad, visualize the confident outcome that you wish to hold or behold, or who you want to become. So let's just give you an example. If you wanted more self-confidence in public speaking, yes, you do need to drive confident thoughts in your mind all the time. Don't keep telling yourself, I'm no good at public speaking. I'm no good. You can't do that. Cancel. I can get better and better at public speaking. Have positive thoughts and reinforce them. However, in visualization, like the mirror of the mind technique in the Silva method is what we do, or for you if you haven't done it, through visualization, when you picture yourself on the screen of your mind behaving in a confident way, you make impressions in the subconscious mind that start to change your attitude and eventually your belief about your own self-confidence. And hi, Alejandra, and welcome. And you can change your self-confidence through repetitive visualization. Now, why I'm mentioning visualization here is because it is thousands and thousands, I'll say it's 30,000 times more effective than trying to just do it with affirmations going into your mind all the time about, I can do this if I put in the effort. I believe in myself. I trust myself, whatever the affirmation is. to visualize it in a relaxed state is 30,000 times more effective. So I'm going to say to you that when we're aware of our negative self-talk that's dragging our confidence down, and all of us have it, because I said to you earlier, I think we have 70,000 thoughts a day, and 80% of them are negative that go undetected by the conscious mind. So yes, thought disciplining is required. However, I'm going to say, do visualize. And we need to be aware through in the midst of our daily work. Because when we work day in and day out, we can get busy and we just speak to ourselves negatively. And it's in that habit every day, that we don't change our self-confidence. I want to tell you this quick story about this traveling salesman. There was a traveling salesman going around, and he was doing really badly. And he almost, lost everything. And anyway, sometime later, this guy just rose to the top. He just became highly successful. And Norman Vincent Peale, the author of the book, The Power of Positive Thinking, spoke to this man one day, and he said, I hear your story, how you went from nothing to really being so successful. What did you do? So I'll just write, just let me bring it up. It said, he said, driving around in the car all day, I have a lot of time on my hands, and you tend to spend a lot of time just thinking. And, as I said to you, thinking is a habit. So he was going around worrying about how bad his sales were going to be, or he was going around worrying that the next client would give him a no instead of a yes. And the more he was doing this, the worse his sales became. So he said, I came across this really amazing solution. So he said, yes, what is it? He said, well, I had this wonderful plan. He said, what I have is, and he opened his glove compartment or his cubby hole, and he pulled out a pack of cards. They were like quotes. And these are just two of them that are specifically mentioned in the story here. And he put these little cards into a clip that he glued to his dashboard. So into this clip every day, he put one card. And he said he would drive around and he would memorize the quote. And they can see they come from the Bible. So he put a quote from the Bible on his dashboard. And what he did was he memorized it. He repeated it over, and he memorized it. So can you imagine what this guy is doing? He's completely filling his mind repeatedly with strong, affirming, positive, and confident ideas. And this is what he did every single day while he's on the road driving. And he said just the first time he started doing this, if you read that first one, if you have faith, nothing shall be impossible unto you. He kept affirming it. Yeah, if I have faith, it's true. Nothing shall be impossible. And he spoke himself up and up and up. And he went in and he had a good sales result. And he got back in the car and he felt more confident and he did it again. This man changed his entire success. He changed his entire future. And it wasn't magic, and it's not difficult. I'm sharing this simple information with you because the same thing can change your life. And it's just finding these powerful quotes. And as I said in the beginning of the lesson, a lot of the stuff tonight will be quotes out of the Bible. If you're not a person of the Bible, find some quotes that do work and resonate with you. If you are a person of faith, I would use these. What a wonderful quote this is that says, if God is for us, who can be against us? If you change it to the first person and just repeat, if God is with me, who can be against me? And it's true. And if you just start thinking like that, it'll change your own confidence. It'll change your own feeling of success and your own abilities. And you draw on a power greater than you, as I said, and this gives you inner strength that's pretty much inconquerable. You become almost a feeling that you're invincible. And it's that actually creates your positive results. So it really does work. It says that we build up the feeling of security or insecurity by how we think. We build up the feeling of security or insecurity by how we think. So if you ever have doubt and fear or indecision, just be aware that it's from repeated thoughts. You might not even be aware that you had them. And you can change them if you just start applying with discipline positive thoughts and fill your mind with them. So if you look at these 3 jars here of water, the first jar on the left is clear water with a tiny drop only of blue dye in it. And the second jar's got 2 or 3 more drops of blue dye in it. And the last jar there's got a whole lot more drops of dye in it, and the water's light blue almost. Your mind is like this water, and your thoughts are like the dye. So if you just become intentional about drip feeding powerful, positive thoughts into your mind, especially like the ones I mentioned earlier, and things that come out the Bible that you can feel out of strength for, you can change your mind and you can change your thoughts. So this is quite interesting. It says here, this is a statistic. How many people lack self-confidence on average? Does anybody want to guess? They did a survey. What percentage of people do you think admit that they lack self-confidence? Any guesses? Any guess?
Maybe 50%.
50%. Okay.
90%.
90%. Well, it's 75%. Now, I think that's really high. So they did actually a survey in a university with 600 students, and they asked these 600 students, can you please list your most difficult personal problems? And 75% of them actually had, like right up top there, lack of self-confidence. Then they carried on doing more research, and they found this is actually the same for the general population. And the survey results say that people are inwardly afraid. They suffer a deep sense of inadequacy and insecurity. They don't talk about it. They doubt themselves. They don't trust themselves to meet responsibilities or trust themselves to grasp opportunities. They have a vague and sinister fear that something is not going to be quite right. Or they have this fear that something's going to go wrong. When everything's going well, at the back of their mind, they think, this is too good to be true, something's going to go wrong. These are all thoughts that are going on repeatedly in the mind and creating patterns, just like the water jar with the blue dye. They also don't believe that they have in them what it takes to be what they really want to be. So you know what they do? It's very sad. They try to make themselves content with something less than that of which they are capable. The way I term that is they settle for less in life. I just want to urge you with my whole heart, never let that be you. If you're not happy with your results, never settle. If you're not happy in a relationship, never settle, fix it. If you're not happy in your job, don't settle and say, oh, well, this is the best job I can get. I'll just settle for what I got. No, don't settle. You need to believe in your self-worth. And you need to believe that you deserve to be happy, you deserve to thrive, and you deserve to have a life that's fun and enjoyable. It's your birthright. There's no such thing as not being happy and enjoying this life. It shouldn't be you. And the truth is, as this whole Meaningful Monday is about, you can change your self-confidence, because it's only people who are lacking in self-confidence that settle. People who've got good self-confidence don't settle. They say, no, this isn't good enough for me. I'm not doing that. Or I want to have people treat me that way, whatever it may be. But they change the situation to meet their level of self-worth. And that's what I want to encourage you to do. If you've not maybe thought about it like that before, maybe think about it like that now. If you have, great. I love this. It says attitudes are more important than facts. This is important. If you're making notes, write this down. Attitudes are more important than facts. You see, this is important. Problems and worries that we have, whether they top of mind and we know about them consciously and we know we're thinking of our problems, is one thing. But do you know how many of us just feel tired and we don't know why we're feeling drained and tired often? It's because we've got problems and worries in the background of our mind that we are not aware of. They go undetected by the conscious mind, but they sap our energy. So if you're feeling lethargic or tired or fatigued often, I want you to be aware. What is sapping your energy? What is draining your energy? And just start to think and analyze yourself and think, do you worry a lot? Do you think about problems when you could be thinking about solutions maybe? It's what you think and how you think. So problems and worries do sap energy. Also, to be discouraged is a point of view. To be discouraged is a perception issue. It's not factual. A person can have the same situation. One person can say, well, what am I going to do about this? Have a positive mental attitude. And someone else is discouraged. So discouragement is something you can choose. And it says here, when discouraged, your true power is obscured. Because when we're discouraged, we feel hopeless. We feel powerless. We think, what am I going to do about this? This problem is like, how am I going to solve it? I don't know what to do. And you almost feel like you want to give up. I'm here to tell you, it's not about the problem. It's about the attitude. You know, and if you need something to help pick yourself up and have that strong fighting and I don't know, courageous and brave, like warrior attitude, and I say warrior, to go ahead and sort out your problems is an attitude. So be aware when you're discouraged, if you've got problems going wrong in your mind and if it saps your energy. It says here, you yield to discouragement that is not justified by the facts. You have to know that. We often just give in. We feel discouraged. We put our head in our hands. We go to sleep. We lie down. We don't know what to do. We take no action. We become immobilized. We don't have creative problem-solving skills. We don't start to brainstorm solutions. We don't even want to talk to people about our problems because we're afraid. I don't know what we're afraid of. Maybe we're afraid they're going to think that we just complain, or they're afraid, I don't know what. So we don't talk about them and try and get help. I'm just here to tell you that discouragement is not justified by the facts. It's a state of mind. It's your attitude. Okay, so what can you do about it? Well, the first thing I say here, one thing you can do it right now, you can do it anytime you like. Whenever you feel this fatigue or sapping your energy or you feel discouraged, it's vital to reappraise your personal assets. So there's a story that I read the other day of this man, and you know, he says to Norman Vincent Peale, I've lost it all. I've lost everything in my life. I'm done. So I said, really? He said, everything. He said, yes. He said, I don't know. He said, I may as well just lie down and die. He said, nothing can be so bad. He says, look, it's late in life. It's too late for me to start again. I'm in my mid-60s and I've lost everything. So he said to him, can you just tell me a little bit about your personal assets? So he said, what are you talking about? He said, well, do you have a spouse or a partner? He said, yes, I do. I actually got a very loving and supportive wife. And she said to me, she'd never leave me no matter what I'm going through. I said, okay, here's a pen. Just write that down. So I made him write it down. He said, and tell me, and do you have any family? He said, yes, sure. I said, tell me about your family. So he described his family. And it came out that he's got a very loving and supportive family. He's got 3 children. And he said, my 3 children said, Dad, we believe in you and we stand by you and we'll help you any way we can. What do you need? And they still have faith in him. He said, write that down. And he said, tell me, how's your health? He said, my health is pretty good. I still exercise and I'm in good physical shape. I don't really have any issues. Write that down. Then he said, do you have friends? He said, yeah, I've got long friends from years and years and years, and they're wonderful. They are very loyal, and write that down. And anyway, you get the point. He made this guy list more and more and more and more things. And once he watched him, eventually he ended up with a whole page full of things that he did have in his life. And he said, okay, my friend. He said, when you do this appraisal of yourself, it says here, when done in a spirit of reasonableness, this evaluation will convince you that you are less defeated than you are. He said, you can choose to focus on everything that's wrong and bring yourself lower and lower and lower until you really want to just give up on life and not even live anymore. He said, or just, it's like we can have 10 things in our life that are are going on. And one thing could be wrong and 9 could be right. Do you know that the human brain has most people, an automatic habit of focusing on the one thing that's wrong? By the same token, we could have 9 things wrong and 1 thing right. But we don't focus on the one thing that's right. We focus on the 9 things that are wrong. So whether there's 1 thing wrong or 9 things wrong, the human mind tends to think on what is wrong. So this appraisal exercise of writing down what's right in your life, keep going. Count your blessings, everything you can think of, and keep going. You will realize how truly blessed we are. And that can change your energy. It can change your perception. And you can think, well, I've got all this support behind me. Maybe I should pick myself up and do what I can to change my attitude and develop a positive mental attitude. It says that any situation, is not as bad as our attitude towards it. Any situation is not as bad as our attitude towards it. A confident and optimistic thought pattern can overcome any fact altogether. And this is true. There's a book called A Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. He was in the concentration camps. For those of you who may know and read the book, if you haven't, he was in the concentration camp and he wrote this book. He was actually a psychiatrist. And he wrote there that, when he went to the concentration camp in Auschwitz, they took every possession he had. They took everything from him, including his name. He said, can you believe that a human being can even take away my name? And they gave him a number. All of them got numbers. He said, but the one thing they couldn't take from me was my attitude. And he got through the concentration camp, and as a result, he wrote this book called A Man's Search for Meaning. And it was the thoughts he had. He said, they will not break me down in my mind. They can take everything from me. They can starve me to death. I got frostbite. I'm working. It's freezing cold in the snow. They don't have enough clothes. It was awful circumstances for years and years and years. But they won't take away my thoughts. And what an amazing outcome. If you read that book, it's so inspiring. And it's true. So write that here. A confident and optimistic thought pattern can overcome any fact altogether. Okay, so how to reverse negative feelings. The first thing is you've got to be aware of how you feel. Ask yourself when you're feeling down, am I feeling defeated? Have I lost some self-confidence? Am I a little bit fearful? Am I worried about my ability or my success or the outcome of something? Just become aware. Then make a list of all the things in your life that are for you, not against you, for you. Like I just said with that man in that story, your personal assets. Make a list of if you've got a loving partner or family that love you, friends, health. I've got their freedom and safety. Anyone who's listening to this webinar, I just want to remind you of your freedom. Do you know how many countries in the world, the people that have no freedom, they have lack of freedom, even freedom of speech. It's so different to this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful country, Australia, that we live in. Or if you're from anywhere else in the world, there's freedom from wherever you people, I know you who are dialing in here. And safety. Think about your safety. That's a massive thing. That's such a blessing. You can go to 150 other countries where your safety will be threatened. So just think about everything we really have. Then once you've got a list as long as you can, count your blessings, is mentally visualize, affirm, and reaffirm your assets. And keep your thoughts on them. Express gratitude continuously. Why? Because it keeps your vibration up. You can actually train your vibration to an upward place. So people who are pessimistic, why is one man pessimistic and another man optimistic? It's just a habit. He just allows himself to repeat negative thoughts, and he's done it for years and years and years and years. So now he's a chronic negative thinker. You can change that. And when I say train your vibration up, the more gratitude and positive thoughts you force and induce in your mind, using those quotes, using this list, using affirmations, visualizing, the more you slowly change your brain and train yourself to be more positive. And as I said in many lectures before, positive thoughts give positive outcomes. Excuse me. Negative thoughts give negative outcomes, and negative thoughts can never give you a positive outcome. So that's why it's so important for us to be so aware. You also have here, emphasize your personal assets to the fullest extent, and you will rise out of any difficulty, regardless of what it may be. Okay, so how to increase confidence. This also came from this book. So as I said, if you're a person of faith, great. If you have a different faith, change God to whatever it is for you. If you don't even believe in God, believe in some amazing infinite power that created this whole universe. Something created you. Something's beating your heart right now. Something's digesting your food and filtering your blood and healing a cut. If you cut yourself, who heals your cut? There's an infinite intelligence governing this entire universe. For me, it's God. So affirm and visualize these 3 sentences, and I'm telling you, it will help you through the hardest and most trying times in your life. This will pull you through. You just repeat these 3. God is with me. God is helping me. God is guiding me. I don't mind who you are, where you're from. If you can take that, or whatever it is, source energy is with me, source energy is helping me, source energy is guiding me. You do it and you visualize it and you feel it and you repeat it with emotion and conviction, and you even be grateful in advance for it. It will increase your self-confidence. It will change the way you feel about yourself. And Norman Vincent Peale says, the release of power that this procedure stimulates will astonish you. And I urge you to try it. Write these 3 things down, and the next time that you're struggling in your life, just repeat these 3 sentences, and you will feel, just repeat them over and over, how it will bring you up, how it will be the biggest hope in your life to pull you through no matter what you're going through.
What was the third one? God is with me.
God is with me. God is helping me. God is guiding me.
Helping. Thank you.
Pleasure. Just want to find, and you can even add at the end, and nothing will defeat me if you want to. God is with me. God is helping me. God is guiding me, and nothing can defeat me, because nothing can defeat God. So if you've got in your mind, you draw from a power greater than you can never be defeated. Thanks for asking. It says here, feelings of confidence depend on the type of thoughts that habitually occupy the mind. And habitually is the key word. As I said, all our thoughts and attitudes are a habit. So in the Silva method, we impress thoughts intentionally into the subconscious mind, which over time changes our beliefs. And these create new habitual thoughts. And these thoughts are in line with what we want, not what we don't want. So for yourselves as well, you can visualize and do the same thing. If you're a Silva grad, we use mirror of the mind. Very effective. I love this quote. It says, be bold and mighty forces will come to your aid. Be bold. There's another quote on my pinboard here. It says, boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Only engage, and then the mind grows heated. Begin it, and the work will be completed. So basically, when we're afraid of taking a step, or afraid of trying something new, or afraid of having to do something that's out of our comfort zone, or perform a new skill, and we don't take the first step because we're afraid, or we're trying to prepare, we never actually take the step. We need to be bold and actually take the step. And it says their mighty forces will come to your aid. And if you need to have the courage to take that step, then you need to go through what I've discussed in the first part of this lesson about intentionally developing faith and self-confidence. You see, it says their faith reconditions your attitudes. That means you can change your conditioning. And I'm telling you, yes, you can. You can go from an unconfident person to a confident person. Faith reconditions your attitude. And it says here, do the thing you fear And the death of fear is certain. That's Ralph Waldo Emerson. Do the thing you fear, and the death of fear is certain. That's why it's so wonderful to step outside your comfort zone, because the more you do that, the more that becomes your new comfort zone, and you expand, and so on. And when we act and keep doing things like that, it says the subconscious mind cannot distinguish between imagination and reality. So every time you visualize, you're basically practicing, even though it's in your mind, but the subconscious can't tell the difference. So if you keep visualizing your success, it believes that you're successful. If it keeps visualizing confidence, it believes you're confident, or calm if you're a person who's anxious, whatever it may be. So that's the power in there. So just practice confidence, practice faith, and the fears and insecurities will have no more power over you. The secret's just to fill your mind with faith, fill your mind with confidence, and fill your mind with thoughts of security. Eventually, over time, it will just force out all thoughts of doubt. It will happen. Over time, you will expel all thoughts of doubt. You'll become a person who doesn't have those thoughts, hardly any, ever. And all feelings of lack of self-confidence. It does take practice. You've just got to keep doing it every day. Treat it like a spiritual practice, like a cleansing of your own mind. It takes time, just keep persisting. So from defeat to confident and inspiring, just quickly, here's a story again. The story of a man who really was at the lowest level of his life. And he met, in the story in this book, he met Norman Vincent Peale. And he wasn't a man of faith, and he wasn't a man who ever read the Bible. But he handed him a Bible, and he said to him, you'll find in this book many, hundreds, if not thousands of quotes that will give you more confidence and feelings of courage. He said, what I want you to do is just take a red pen, go through this book, and just if you see any quote that's confident, it gives you more confidence or courage, just underline it in a red pen. So the man did this. He had remarkable change in his life in just a few weeks. Why? Because not only did he underline these quotes, he committed them to memory. In other words, to do this and memorize all these quotes, and which quote it was in which verse of the Bible, he had to cram his mind every day full of these ideas. So cramming his mind full of the happiest, healthiest, and most powerful thoughts. In a few weeks, this man turned his entire life around. So the point I want to make is, he didn't even have any faith. He just picked up the Bible. He found quotes that gave him feelings of confidence. It changed his entire life. This is called the process of thought conditioning. You can do this too. We can all do it. As I said to you, the subconscious mind cannot distinguish between imagination and reality. If you keep feeding it like they're dropping dye into the clear water, positive, confident, and courageous thoughts and ideas, it will recondition you. It will change you to a person who's more courageous and more confident. And now this man who's in the story here, he walks around radiating courage and confidence, and he's now inspiring other people to do the same. And this changed him so much, he gives them the same formula. He says, take the Bible, whether you've read it or not, find quotes on confidence, quotes on courage, and underline them for yourself. So there's another tip for you. Okay, so to sum up, you can build your self-confidence, 10 steps to overcome inadequacy and learn to practice faith. Thousands have used these with successful results, and so can you. So here they are, the 10 steps. Number 1, formulate and stamp indelibly in your mind. That just means stamp in your mind a picture that doesn't change or fade, that's fixed. A mental picture of yourself succeeding. Every time you have self-doubt, close your eyes and press that image of success into your mind. Now, you should create it through at least 15 minutes of visualizing beforehand that you have a picture of yourself already successful. Every time you have doubt, stamp it back in your mind. Do this repeatedly. Never stop doing it. It will change your brain. I've spoken about the cancel technique. Remember, cancel is not enough. You must overwrite your negative thoughts and words with a positive statement. Number 3, do not inflate obstacles in your imagination. When something goes wrong in our life, you can use your imagination to think about it, and you just make it bigger and bigger and bigger, and the problem becomes so enormous. Do the opposite. You have a problem, use your imagination to make the problem smaller and smaller and smaller, not bigger, and have statements or affirmations of power, of courage. Use the ones that I've shared with you. And remember, nobody can be you. Don't copy anyone, just be you. You are the best person as you are. The perfect you is just being yourself. So always remember that, because sometimes when we have doubt is because we don't trust our own ability and we think, oh, I could be like that person, or I could be like that person. No, just be like you and develop your own courage and strength. Here's a few quotes. As I said, this lesson has some things out of the Bible. This is one that I said before. If God is for me, who can be against me? Repeat that 10 times a day. See how it will give you strength. Learn the origin of inferiority. Self-knowledge leads to cure. If you've done Silva, it's easy. We use the lab. You can go back and find it there, and we can change it in one meditation. You can change it in Silva. Number 7, repeat 10 times a day. The quote I gave you earlier, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Remember that man who was at the brink of failure, and he repeated that 10 times, and he went to that meeting and he came out successful. He never even heard that before. He had to write it down to remember it. Make a true statement of your own ability, and then just increase it by 10%. Have a wholesome self-respect and repeat the statement. I trust myself. I believe in myself. I'm worthy and deserving of achieving my goals, whatever it may be. Make a statement of yourself. I have infinite potential, or something like my personal success comes from an infinite source. My personal abundance comes from an infinite source. Any statement that gives you strength. Another one here is affirm. When you're down and you've got nowhere to turn, you don't know where you are, just affirm, I'm in God's hands. Just visualize that and believe that you're receiving all the power from this other source that you need. And then, as I said earlier, God is with me, God is helping me, God is guiding me, and nothing can defeat me. So just repeat that. So there are the 10 steps for you. Really what it comes down to at the end of the day is like dripping dye in that clear water. What you put in your mind is who you become. We ultimately become what we think about. So you want more self-confidence and you want to believe in yourself. You've got to impregnate your mind continuously with ideas, quotes, thoughts to give you that belief in yourself. And when you don't have enough belief in yourself, well, isn't it wonderful that we can draw on our belief in a power greater than us to lend or borrow or adapt or adopt or whatever it is, that belief, and use that to give us, and over time it becomes our own strength. Okay, folks, that's the end of that. We're going to do a meditation now. Just a reminder that next time, Meaningful Mondays on the 3rd of June, the first Monday of the month. And I'll be talking about from ambition to fulfillment, going from our own ambition about achievement to fulfillment, and really what is it we really want to make our lives meaningful and fulfilling. Then for those who have or have not done the Silva method, just to tell you, the next class is in September. We don't train in winter. It's 4 days in a row, the 12th to the 15th, and then in November over 2 weekends. So the kids is a program. I generally run one class a year, but if anyone has Silva kids, as kids that want to do the Silva method, you can bring them to the adult class, no problem. And the November one would be ideal because it's on weekends. I don't have to take time off school. All right. Are there any questions about anything so far? No? Yes? Well, if there are, just interrupt and ask me. Yes, go ahead.
How does one, if you're worried about someone other than yourself, how do you overcome that? You're worrying about somebody else, so you don't actually have the power to, you can only ask God to help them, but if you know they need help and they don't tap into their higher into God or infinite source, the possible.
Yep.
Can
So
you just pray for them, or?
Yeah. So I would say two things. The one is we can't live other people's lives, and we can't change other people. If you're worried about someone, you can either, if you're a person of faith, you pray for them. If you're not a person of faith, you can still send love and healing energy and blessings to them. In the Silva method, we go into a laboratory, we put the person on our mental screen. You can do this yourself. You just visualize them on a screen in front of you. And either you project white healing light through them or blessings on them or whatever it is. If they're unwell, visualize them getting better and better through time, like a time series, going future in time, until you see them fully healthy. The last image should always be healthy. That's the one you can do. You can do that without their knowledge. You can program, pray, or heal them. Healing does work. Remote healing is scientifically proven. Even Reiki is remote healing to a degree. It doesn't touch the person. It does work. That's the one. The second one I'd say is you have to actually let go and let life take its course, because there's a saying, within every temporary defeat lies the seed of an equivalent advantage. Suffering is always an opportunity for the soul to grow. And sometimes we want to save people from something they're suffering about, but what we're really doing is we would deprive them of the spiritual growth. We would deprive them of the growth they need in their life if we could just interfere and save them. I know it's not easy to watch people that you love not having the experience that you wish for them, but you have to detach and remember, I can love them, I can pray for them, I can send them healing and positive energy, but I can't live my life for them, and we're not meant to. We're not meant to save people's lives if they're not in the right place, because there's growth in that journey of theirs. There's growth in their suffering, even if it's illness, even if it's something terminal. There's always an opportunity for the soul to grow. A small example, they say one of the biggest spiritual growth spurts of our life, if you die slowly, is in the hour before your death. There's many books written on this. That's just an example that even on the last hour of our death, we have massive spiritual growth, whatever it may be. Just knowing and summing up how you lived and what you valued and what you didn't value. And you might reassess that whole thing in the last hour and have gratitude for things you never were grateful for in your whole life, whatever it may be. That's just an extreme example. So someone who's going through a struggle, 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, you can pray for them or do whatever you want to do, but you really should not try to live and change it. You have to trust the universe knows what, everything is for your highest good, and their highest good doesn't look like it. It always is. That's all I can say. Then if anyone else wants to give an opinion here, please share. If you've got anyone else who's got other thoughts on it, please share. No? Okay. Does that help you at all?
Absolutely.
Okay. Then just thank you to those.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you to those who came to see Alejandra is here, and Denise, for coming to the book launch. It was a few weeks ago. There's now a book reading. So if you missed it, there's another book reading coming up on the 1st of June. It's more of a public event. You're welcome. You are invited. It will be posted soon on social media, but otherwise, if you want to come, just let me know you're coming. Just send me a text or an email. Let me know you're coming just for catering purposes. But there's another book reading on the 1st of June in Concord. So please do come. I'll have a bit of a talk about the book and so forth. All right. Sorry, we've gone a bit late. Let's just meditate now. So find yourself a pen and paper and sit it on your lap and just relax, relax, relax. And I'm going to do a guided meditation to reset your intention for the month ahead, which is the month of May. And we're going to ask ourselves at the end of the relaxation, what do you want to focus on? What do you need to do to take yourself a step closer? What do you need to release or change? And I expect that you'll get some good, wise answers from a higher intuitive place than from where you do it right now. And the purpose of this is to let you know that all of you, whether you have done this before in your life or not, you can get all answers to all things in your life the same way, to any questions. If you go into a meditation and ask questions, intentionally tuning into your higher self. Okay, so if you've got pen and paper, just relax. Put that on your lap. I'm going to switch my camera off until we at the end, so no one's on video. And put on some meditation music. So just make sure you have your pen and paper relaxed and comfortable on your lap, and just get yourself really in a comfortable position. If you get answers when I ask you the questions, great. If you don't get answers, great. There's no right or wrong, just whatever comes up for you. So the goal now is just to relax. Just relax your body and relax your mind. You've got nothing else to focus on now, nothing at all. Just take this time to relax for your benefit. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in your belly and blow out like you're blowing out a candle. And as you exhale, just allow all the tensions in your body to release and float away. Take another deep breath, and as you exhale, begin to feel your body relaxing. Feel the tension leaving your scalp. Feel the tension leaving your forehead. Relax your eyes. Relax your cheeks. Relax your tongue and jaw. Relax your neck. Relax your shoulders, arms, and hands. Take another deep breath, and as you exhale, feel the tension leaving your back, all the way down your spine. Relax your chest. Relax your abdomen. Relax your hips and pelvic area. Take another deep breath and allow the tension to leave your thighs. Relax your thighs. Relax your knees. Relax your calves. Relax your feet and your toes. You are now experiencing a deep state of relaxation. Now you're going to create in your mind an ideal place of relaxation. It can be real or imagined, either somewhere that you've been or somewhere that you'd like to go. And ensure that it's a place where you feel totally relaxed. Begin to experience that place right now. Now that you've created your ideal place of relaxation, you're going to add a waterfall of white light into the scene. Place it wherever you choose. This waterfall is gentle, allowing you to stand under the cascading white light. The light is a healing energy, a clearing energy. Your waterfall of white light is now created. Walk over to the waterfall and stand under the white healing light. Allow the white light to swirl around you, encompassing you within its glow. This white light is clearing the stress, the tension, and the clutter of your day, of the past week, of last month, of this whole year, even the lifetime from your energy field. It's clearing all the stress, tension, and clutter from your atmosphere, from your aura. As the light clears your energy, notice how much happier you look. Notice the smile on your face. See how the weights you've been carrying are no longer a burden. Notice how your energy field is expanding out as you are radiating love. This waterfall of light is always available to you whenever you need it. All you need to do is close your eyes and imagine your ideal place of relaxation and immerse yourself in this healing white light. Now take a deep breath, relax, and repeat these beneficial statements to yourself mentally. Every day, in every way, I am getting better, better, and better. Positive thoughts bring me benefits and advantages I desire. I will always maintain a perfectly healthy body, mind, and immune system. The following statements are for your better health. Keep in mind that from now on, I'll be speaking in your place. Every second, every minute, every hour, every day, every cell, tissue, organ, and system of my body is revitalized, restored, and renewed, resulting in a perfectly healthy body, mind, and immune system. I'm able to function in harmony, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually to promote maximum benefits. My awareness in using my mind allows me to do activities that promote increased health, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Now imagine the white light turns to green. You're now immersed in a glowing green light. This green light is unconditional love. It surrounds you. It encompasses you. It flows through your entire being. It fills you with love. All the hurts you felt, all the pains you've ever felt, or the angry moments, allow this green light, this unconditional love, to heal all those spaces now. You are an amazing human being. You deserve love. You deserve joy. You deserve abundance. And you deserve peace. It is now time to step out of the waterfall. Step out of the waterfall of light and notice how your energy field is now clean and clear. You are centered and energized. You are able to think more clearly, focus more easily. You are in the flow of universal love and energy. Take a moment to bask in this feeling of connectedness. You have now reset your body and mind for the month ahead. It's now time to set your intention for the month ahead. Tune into your inner wisdom, your higher self, that part of you that, if you tuned in, guides you and intuitively knows what is best for you. Feel the alignment with your higher self. Feel the connection. And now ask yourself the following questions, and whatever comes up for you, just write it down. Don't think about it, don't analyze it, just write whatever comes up, your first impressions, write them down, and then take a breath, relax, close your eyes, and continue to go into meditation. The first question is, what do I need to focus on for the month ahead? What do I need to focus on for the month ahead? Whatever comes to mind, write it down. Then take a deep breath, close your eyes, and just re-enter your calm state. The second question, what steps do I need to take me closer to what I want to be, do, or have? What steps do I need to take me closer to what I want to be, do, or have? The next question, what do I need to let go of? Whatever comes to mind, write it down. What do I need to let go of? And lastly, is there anything else I need to know or do? Is there anything else? Now allow a deep breath, and as you exhale, relax. Bring your attention back to your body. Gently wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you are ready, you may open your eyes, have a big stretch. Blessings to all of you. Okay, welcome back. That's it for tonight, folks. I hope you enjoyed that. Did you get some benefit out of that?
Definitely.
Great. Just a reminder, whatever answers you got, you can trust them, because when you're in meditation and you tune in to your higher self, the answers come from a place of truth. So always trust and act. If you've got any answers in these questions, they are definitely right for your life. Okay, friends, that's all for tonight. Thank you very, very much for joining. I wish all of you a wonderful month ahead, a wonderful night's sleep, and all my blessings to you. And if anybody wants to say anything or talk to me, I'll stay on the line. Otherwise, I'm going to stop the recording.